So now moving ahead, the next category of drugs are the smooth muscle relaxants. So we are done with induction, inhalational, and we are now looking at smooth muscle relaxants. They're divided into two types: centrally acting and peripherally acting. The centrally acting are baclofen, tizanidine, mefenamic acid, diazepam, methocarbamol, right? Remember from the pharma. We need to focus on the peripherally acting smooth muscle relaxants. Okay, they are directly acting like dantrolene and quinidine. Okay, dantrolene is used in malignant hyperthermia because it increases end-tidal CO2 to more than 100 mmHg, and then are those drugs that block the neuromuscular junction, and these are our focus of interest, right? So neuromuscular junction blockers or smooth muscle relaxants are further categorized into non-depolarizing muscle relaxants and depolarizing muscle relaxants. Okay, so we will first look into the non-depolarizing muscle reactants. So basically they act as competitive inhibitors of the receptors. They can be either benzoquinolones or aminosteroids. Benzoquinolones में we have D-tubocurarine, etracurium, cisatracurium, mivacurium, and doxacurium. ठीक है. So what we need to know: D-tubocurarine is obtained from plant. ठीक है. It causes maximum release of histamine, right? And it causes ganglionic blockade. Etracurium, it is an intermediate acting, right? It also releases histamine. Then the product is laudanosine, which causes toxicity, and it is metabolized by Hoffman's elimination, 1/3. Its isomer is cis-atracurium, in which there is the advantage that there is no histamine or laudanosine release, and it is 100% metabolized by Hoffman elimination. Hence, it is 3 times potent. So, what is the drug of choice for liver and renal failure both? Right, atracurium is the drug of choice. It is used in children and elderly, and it is also used in patients of myasthenia gravis. The contraindications are because it releases histamine, so bronchial asthma, and seizures because of laudanosine. Then mivacurium, this is the shortest acting. Okay, you need to remember this. It is metabolized by pseudocholinesterase, therefore it has a short T half. It is the drug of choice in daycare surgery because it is short acting, right? And remember that in daycare surgery, the sequence is rocuronium plus sugammadex more than mivacurium, more than cis-atra, more than atra, more than rocuronium plus neostigmine. Okay? So if they ask the best drug overall, that is rocuronium plus sugammadex. But if they ask a benzoquinolone, then the answer will be mivacurium. The longest acting drug is doxacurium, and it is also most potent, right? Then aminosteroids, first is pancuronium. This is the longest acting, and it is vagolytic, that is, it causes ganglionic stimulation. So this was causing ganglionic blockade, and this is causing ganglionic stimulation. Okay? It has renal excretion, and this is the drug of choice in shock. It is contraindicated definitely in renal failure, in CAD, in liver failure, and daycare surgery. Why? Because long acting. So daycare surgery mein you don't use long acting. Then vecuronium, this is very important. It is most cardiostable drug, so it will be the drug of choice in cardiac surgery, and it is also used in neurosurgery. The contraindication is liver disease because it has a biliary excretion. Then rocuronium, this has the fastest onset, right? And now we have a reversal agent, which is sugammadex. So it has the least metabolism, and it is the drug of choice in daycare surgery, full stomach patients. Then it is used in rapid intubation sequence, right? It causes pain in injection site, right? And if they ask the sequence for daycare surgery, the overall drug of choice is succinylcholine. We'll just read. But if it is not given, then the answer will be again rocuronium plus sugammadex followed by mivacurium. The other smooth muscle relaxants are galamine, alcuronium, and gantacurium. Okay, gantacurium is the ultra short acting, having a T half of 8 to 10 minutes, and it is metabolized to cysteine, and its reversal agent is very important, L-cysteine. Galamine, it is least potent vagolytic, that is, it is causing ganglionic stimulation and it can cross the placenta. And alkyronium is associated with increased anaphylactoid reaction. Right. Then there is metocurine. It contains iodine, so it will be contraindicated in iodine sensitive patients. Now we move ahead to depolarizing muscle reactant, muscle relaxant. So that is diacetylcholine, right? Or the succinylcholine. It is also called succinylmethonium, and it is the most common anesthetic associated with malignant hyperthermia. Right, it is having fastest onset and the shortest duration of action overall, that is less than 10 minutes. It causes ganglionic stimulation and histamine release. Right, it causes depolarization in two phases. First is the phase 1 block, second is the phase 2 block. Right, in phase 2 block it will act by causing relaxation of the muscle. Right, what are the side effects? This is very, very important. And most important thing that you need to remember in smooth muscle relaxants are the side effects of succinylcholine. First, it causes choline apnea due to prolonged block of the receptors. Then muscle pain. This is the most common side effect and it is treated by giving rocuronium. Right. Then it causes hyperkalemia, masseter spasm. Masseter spasm is the first manifestation of malignant hyperthermia. Okay, it will cause increase in ICT and IOP while decrease in heart rate. Then you need to know Debouquin number, right? It shows the degree of inhibition of pseudocholinesterase by succinylcholine, and if it is less than 30%, it is abnormal. In such cases, what needs to be given is fresh frozen plasma. Right? Then it is the drug of choice in full stomach patients, rapid intubation sequence, and in difficult intubation. The contraindications are muscle dystrophy, myopathy, tetanus, stroke, critical illness, neuropathy, renal failure, pre-op hyperkalemia, increased ICT, and rhabdomyolysis. Then glaucoma due to increased IOP, newborns, and liver failure or sepsis. Burns, spinal cord injury, shock. Right? Stroke. For stroke patient, it is contraindicated for 48 hours to 9 months. Right? Then remember the extubation criteria is TOF more than 0.9. It is the best sign of reversal, while the clinical indicator is in head lift for more than 5 seconds. So these were all the drugs you need to know in muscle relaxants. Now the last topic in anesthetic drugs are the local anesthetics. Okay. In this, you need to know they are of two types: amino esters, right? They will cause PABA allergy and they have just one eye. ऐसा कुछ होता है ना, we did in pharma. While the aminodiamides, they will have two eye, and they will cause methyl allergy with they contains methyl paraben, that is the allergic agent. Okay. So amino esters, they are cocaine, procaine, benzocaine, tetracaine. Okay. Remember, all amino esters are metabolized in the plasma except cocaine, which is in the liver. Then they are all short acting except tetracaine, that is a long acting. Right? Then cocaine, it causes vasoconstriction, increased BP and heart rate. It is a surface anesthetic and it causes mydriasis. Right? It is used in ENT surgeries. Okay. Then remember that procaine, it doesn't increase methemoglobin, and it is the drug of choice in malignant hyperthermia because it is the safest LA in malignant hyperthermia. Okay. Procaine is the safest local anesthetic in malignant hyperthermia. The safest induction agent in malignant hyperthermia is propofol. Okay. Safest is induction agent. The safest induction agent is propofol, right? Even thiopentone is safe, and the safest inhalational agent is desflurane. So let us write here, the safest induction agent is propofol, the safest inhalational is desflurane, and the safest local anesthetic is Procaine in malignant hyperthermia, right? Okay, then tetracaine, it has the highest pKa and fastest onset. It is used in daycare surgery, and remember, it is contraindicated with spinal anesthesia. Then the most important and the most only two drugs that you need to know apart from prilocaine are lignocaine and bupivacaine. Okay, so lignocaine, it has a pKa of 7.8, right? Intra-arterial dose is 4 mg per kg, while it's 7 mg per kg if used with adrenaline, right? Then it is metabolized in liver, and see, all are metabolized in the liver only, all aminoamides. And the product is Megex. It is also a surface anesthetic. Remember STEMI for the dose. In spinal, it is 5%, topical 4%, epidural 2%, nerve block 1%, IVRA 0.5%, and spray 10%, right? Remember, IVRA is also called as Beer's block. Then it causes CNS toxicity. The first manifestation is perioral numbness. Then it causes dizziness, AV disturbance, tremors, and seizures. And for all these, the drug of choice will be thiopentone, right, with oxygen and midas. Then the most common, it is the most common local anesthetic causing malignant hyperthermia. Most common smooth muscle relaxant causing malignant hyperthermia was succinylcholine. Most common inhalational agent causing malignant hyperthermia is this one, halothane. Okay, succinylcholine is the most common SMR. Most common inhalational is halothane. And here, just remember, thiopentone and propofol are safe. Baki all are causing malignant hyperthermia. Most common is not important. Okay, halothane, succinylcholine, and lignocaine. These are, let me write, succinylcholine, halothane, and lignocaine. Okay, in their each respective category, most common cause of malignant hyperthermia, overall it is succinylcholine. What will be the treatment? Dantrolene, no? Because it causes increase in end-tidal CO2 by 100%. Then next is bupivacaine. The pK is 8%. Okay, it is also metabolized by liver. Dose is 3 mg per kg. Duration of action is for more than 2 hours, right? Remember, lignocaine with adrenaline increases both sensory and muscular block, while bupivacaine only increases sensory block, right? Then bupivacaine is the most cardiotoxic. This question is asked all the time. And the L-bupivacaine, which is the L isomer, is non-toxic. For cardiac toxicity, what is the drug? 20% intralipid. This is asked 2 times this year, right? Then it causes differential block. Like in low doses, it just causes sensory block, while in high doses, it causes sensory and muscular block. It is a drug of choice for spinal anesthesia, where 0.5% hyperbaric bupivacaine is used. 0.0625% to 0.125% is used in painful labor, and 0.25% is used in epidural anesthesia. These are all very important doses that have been asked in previous questions. This was asked in NEET 2019. 0.0625 is used for painless labor, right? Then it is contraindicated IV because of cardiotoxicity, and treatment for cardiotoxicity is intralipid. Then prilocaine, the metabolite is O-toluidine, and the treatment for toxicity is methylene blue, right? It is also a surface anesthetic, and it causes increase in meth hemoglobin, right? It can be used in Beer's block. Then the dose is 2.5% lignocaine, 2.5% prilocaine. This is called as EMLA cream. that is a eutectic mixture of local anesthetic, right? Why it is used, Emla cream, to decrease needle phobia in skin graft and circumcisions, है ना. So this is an important point. What Emla cream is 2.5% lignocaine plus 2.5% prilocaine. One more point in lignocaine, I forgot to tell that in local anesthesia induced arrhythmia, the drug of choice is amiodarone, right? And chlorprocaine is the shortest acting, so it is used in daycare anesthesia. Then ropivacaine, it is a long acting causing vasoconstriction. 0.25% is used in labor analgesia due to decreased motor block. Then Dibucaine, okay, it is the most potent LA, most toxic LA, and the longest duration of action. Dibucaine number is used in succinylcholine to look at the inhibition of pseudocholine esterase. Okay, less than 30% is abnormal. So these were all the local anesthetic. Remember that the first sign of toxicity is perioral numbness. Okay, for arrhythmia, the drug of choice is amiodarone. We've already done that. And the sequence of block will be temperature, followed by pain, followed by touch, followed by pressure, and finally proprioception. Okay, and this is very important. The fibers blocked are A gamma more than A delta more than A beta is equal to A alpha more than BC. Right, this is the order of block, these two things. So with this, we have done all the drugs. Right, these are very important. You need to at least do them 4 or 5 times so that you can learn them. Right, to sum it up, let us just see in daycare surgery what all we used. Combination, this is again an important topic. So in daycare surgery, we will use short acting drugs. Okay, induction propofol, this is induction. Then for inhalation, sevoflurane, short acting. Mivacurium, smooth muscle relaxant, again short acting. Then midas can also be used. For full stomach patients, ketamine, rocuronium, and succinylcholine. Rocuronium or succinylcholine. Then in CVS patient, the goal is to maintain cardiac output, and we used etomidate. Remember, it was the most cardiostable. Isoflurane and vecuronium or cisatracurium. Right? In shock or in CHD patients, ketamine will be used instead of etomidate. Right? For CNS disease, propofol, Sevo is used. To decrease the ICP, thiopentone will be used in place of propofol. Okay, liver disease mein propofol and atra, remifentanil. Right, here again Sevo can be used. Then in bronchial asthma, ketamine and Sevo. For children, ketamine is preferred over Sevo, and atracurium is used in neonates. Right, in elderly, desflurane we read. Malignant hypertension, propofol, N2O, procaine. And for increased ICP, we've already done. Right, remember in pregnancy, with PIH or heart disease, epidural is the anesthesia of choice. The only exception for GA is coagulopathy, or if the patient is hemodynamically stable, and all the conditions where GA is used in heart disease are severe ASNMS, aortic dissection, TOF, and Eisenmenger. Okay, these are very important charts. Like nothing will come outside of this. Obviously, you just need to do them 5-6 times at least. Right? I know this was a bit dry and boring topic, but it is inevitable and it is necessary to do this. I've tried to complete all the anesthetic drugs in just 4 charts. Go through them and let me know which topic you want to do next. Thank you for such a great response. Keep giving your feedbacks so that I may make more such videos. Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye.